we're here to talk about a film that you picked playing on Mometu. I give you a task. Go to Mometu. Shuffle through all 10,000 or so titles that we have and find a movie that you want to do a review on. You gave me a couple that you're like, hey, I'd love to do these two. Yep. One of them we already did. So you're like, I guess you're kind of, stiff-armed into just one.
Yeah.
And you picked
Mermaid Down.
Mermaid Down.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard of Mermaid Down, we're going to go ahead and play the trailer right now.
Logic and practicality would dictate that one must maim a mythical creature if one wants to transport a mythical creature. We take our fire axe and chop her tail off, hack it off.
She thinks she's a mermaid.
Why are you on my boat?
I'm Dr. Byer.
Dr. Byer is not dangerous to any patient.
He did something to me.
I'm a psychiatrist.
For the disturbed.
Okay, I cannot hear when you are both speaking at the same time. We're here to get better, not watch HBO.
My dear sweet case study. You're going to be the most interesting patient to look at. Underneath that straitjacket.
She's gonna need some powerful drugs to get over that mermaid fantasy up in her attic. Mm-hmm. Just look at her.
Why don't you go to hell, you little faker?
This is what happens when you turn this place into a house of lies.
Cool. So Mermaid Down, incredible film that just very unique story.
Super unique.
It's been on Mometu for a little while, and I've been wanting to watch it. So I'm really happy that you picked it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
But this episode's not about me. It's about you.
Well, I can't wait to hear your thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts too.
Yes. Well, we can do our own thoughts together.
Incredible.
But what were your first thoughts on the film?
I was very drawn in by the cover photo. I thought the movie poster. I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. And, I'm just assumed that it probably wasn't backed by a big studio. And I was thinking, I wonder how they're going to do this big budget concept with a small budget, which later find out 85,000.
85,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though someone came out and said, oh, we made this for 3 point blah, blah, blah mil. It was just it was to draw up people, draw up people talking. And I was like, no, $85,000. Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, which is very impressive. I'd say the production value of the boat, the mermaid tail, all the actors, all the things that made this movie complicated, that adds up, the multiple locations, et cetera, probably multiple production days.
Yeah.
All that. Special effects. But yeah, I would say my first impression was that there's a lot to the story. There is a mermaid who has her tail chopped off and then grows legs. There's a basically serial killer guy who is the psychic or
psychiatric
ward guy. And then there's all the girls who live at the psychiatric facility.
Yeah, the psych house, whatever you want to call it.
And a ghost.
There's a lot of things that are
There's
going on.
so much going on. I was like, what? And I was curious, like, how do all these stories come together? How is this all going to get interconnected? But it was definitely quite the ride. I definitely really enjoyed the sound design for the project. I think there were some moments where it was maybe overstepping on like what was just going on in the project, but I was very impressed for, what they had. The sound really kind of brought me along with the characters and the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think first and foremost, my first thoughts, my first take.
Yeah.
I feel like the bar scene at the very beginning was not needed at all. It's like the
that
first
way,
scene.
too.
It's like this old man just starts talking about chopping a mermaid's tail off and dragging it behind a boat. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like that's interesting. But then it's like they should have just started with them catching a mermaid.
Totally.
And then maybe talking about that on the boat or something. I don't know. It was a differently, but the very beginning was just kind of like,
I don't even know
all
if they
right,
needed
where is this
it.
going to go? And like, I don't even know if we needed it at all.
Yeah, because
It's
they
like-
both. Are we spoiling? We're not.
No,
Spoiling.
there's no spoilers like at this point. So it's just like, I just felt like at the beginning, I was like, yeah, it's kind of a weird way to start a film.
Yeah.
And I kind of understood why they did it because they wanted to make sure that the younger guy overhears it or something. So whatever. But either way, they could have just started it.
Yeah.
As is and probably saved a little bit of money there or maybe put that money into something else.
Yeah.
Don't know. But outside of that, I feel like the film did a pretty fair job.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the budget now.
I know.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
There were some things, especially like the mermaid tail, that I thought was kind of funny when she would like smack someone with it. And I was just like, can you move your tail like that? That's cool. Like,
I think that's interesting.
Yeah. And then but then it made sense that there was kind of this fantasy level of it. So it's a psychological horror.
Right.
But then it's also kind of mixed in with fantasy. And so like that doesn't happen super often.
Right, totally.
It's either kind of leaned into one or the other.
Right.
So the fact that they balanced it, like it was a little unique.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you feel that balance was for you? Did it distract you at all? Was it a good balance?
Yeah. I felt very intrigued by all the things that were going on. I was very curious to more about the characters, I think, and seeing more character development. That's why I feel like the beginning, if you just cut that out, it's like those are two less characters that you don't need to like kind of get to know. And then
but they're still important. Like in the beginning, like they still have the boat scene, but they don't need to have that little bar cameo thing. I don't know.
Totally. Which they had comedical elements in that beginning, which I actually chuckled and I was like, oh, this is like seems pretty good. And I was like kind of interested. But yeah, I felt like there were some elements personally I would just, personally cut out just to bring the focus really to the story at hand and be a little less like spread out on all the different things that are happening with each character. And just like create more story driven, drama in that regard. But I mean, that's the thing. It's a creative choice. Everyone's different, and I just found the fantastical elements really interesting. Like her being a mermaid and then watching her transform and like even the sound design of the way that she communicated and then the sign language element. I mean, there's a lot to this film. I mean, I had like a long list because I was just trying to be very intentional as I was watching it. I had like a long list of notes of things that I'm like, like I'm curious why they did this, or I get they did this because of that, I noticed they were playing a lot with reflections and even with like the ghost, they were doing a lot of plates. So they like film it with the actor and then take the actor out and then film it again. And I don't know, I thought it was an interesting creative choice because I don't really see that in movies that often. So they used it a lot, and even in like really dark scenes, like they shot through a window where you think like the actor is not behind the window and then you realize they are, and there's like this distance thing going on that is just very interesting, you know?
They even had a moment of like touching.
Yeah.
Saw that with like the ghost touching.
Totally.
I think that was really cool. Like and again, to do that all with $85K, it was pretty
impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
As far as the cinematography, how do you feel like I mean, you talked a little bit about that the double plates, right? Like plates and the window, sorry, but
no, you're good.
As far as the cinematography, like as a whole though, like Were there any choices that you feel like they could have made differently? Like, I think, even though I think about like the outside scene, and maybe it was just location, so maybe that's just what bothered me. But the outside scene where they escape and they're like kind of going down toward the water. I don't know. There's something off for me at that point. But were there any decisions that you feel like they could have made differently?
Yeah, I feel like just from working with the low budget and higher budget projects, I think at the end of the day, a lot of the time, some of the first things that get cut is lighting. They're like, okay, less is more, and they just like throw a tube, or even put a tube on the camera. The camera tracks, and even like, let's not swap the lens. All of these little things. But I think they definitely do affect the movie in the end. I feel like their big production value was the opening boat scene. And I thought that was shot pretty well. I think their coverage was pretty good, but there was definitely some scenes where I'm like, I felt like the coverage could have been more. And I think, they're just using like a really long take that could have been edited differently.
For sure.
But they're trying to reach that, or is it 90 minutes or hour 30 basically?
Roughly. I mean,
right? Yeah.
And so part of it is the thing with indie films, and like this is why I really love the films you have on Mometu.
Yeah.
Because you get to see those moments of like how you can stretch a budget.
Yeah.
But you also every now and then get the moments where you're like, okay, I can see that you stretched a budget.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? With a low budget. But with this, it's you have these moments where you more than likely figure that you only had one take for this.
Yeah.
And you got what you got.
Right.
There's a beauty in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As a person that understands film and has been on set and you see it in person, for a person that's someone that's outside looking in and doesn't understand those little caveats and is just looking at it.
Yeah.
It can sometimes be a distraction.
Yeah.
I felt like this film did a good job for both types of audiences. Mm-hmm. And that's where I always try to take a step back.
Yeah.
All the flaws, the little minute details that I'm like, okay, that could have been cleaned up a little bit with another take or whatever. But like I sit back and I'm like, could both audiences, like the cinephile audience and the just average watcher, like average viewer, are they both going to enjoy the film?
Yeah.
And that's where I always come back to is if that's being done, then a low budget indie is being done well.
Yeah.
If only one audience or the other is going to enjoy it, because there's some cinephiles that hate like big budget films because they're like, all the shit you did was just way over the top and too much.
Oh yeah.
Right. Where I would appreciate a little more rawness and decisions made. So I just always go back to that. So with the films we have on Mometu, we have a very great selection of those types of films that appeal to both audiences. And that's what I really, really try to make sure we handle here.
Yeah.
So with Mermaid Down, a film that I've literally been wanting to see for a while, I'm so happy you picked this because I got to see another film that I can recommend now.
Yeah, totally.
That's like my overall goal with this is like, hey, can we recommend this to someone?
Yeah.
What type of audience do you feel like would be perfect for this?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because it has so many, I feel like it's variety packed. You have basically, the mermaid, which kind of leans into the like fantasy, but then you also have like a lot of drama with the way the plot is written and pans out. And then there are elements of horror and some like, a little bit of gore and stuff like that, which, if you're into that, then awesome. You'll enjoy it. Yeah. I think they really do lean into a lot of different people, and find ways that people can relate to the characters. So
for sure.
Yeah.
If you could ask the director one question,
what
would you ask them?
That's a good question.
Do
you have a question for the director? Because
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So my personal question would go to like, what was your biggest challenge with the girl with having a tail? Right? 'Cause that's a unique piece to being a filmmaker. Right? Like that's not something you'd normally do every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Her being in a wheelchair, totally normal. Like
Yeah.
her being in a bed, totally normal. Like her being strapped down, totally normal. Like even to the point of getting chopped by an axe, sure, totally normal. Like in a way. But the aspect of actually filming around a tail, that's unique.
That is super unique.
I would just want to know, like, what are the biggest challenges with that?
Yeah.
That would be my personal question.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think a lot of my questions stemmed because, like, I watched Splash when I was like younger, and I thought that movie was really good. Like, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't reference it as clearly as I probably could have back then. But I feel like that mermaid was, like delved into like really like beautiful character where like this mermaid I feel like had elements of like scariness and like even like the way she moved to like the way that she would like shriek. I'm just like curious from the director's perspective why he chose to have her like perform like that. Like, was he inspired by any like mythical tales and things like that? How did he create that mermaid to be the right mermaid for his project? Because you can portray
100%
fantastical things in many different ways. Because a vampire can look like one thing, but it could also look like another thing. Mermaid could look like one thing, another thing.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend, like, of your friend groups? Who would you recommend to go see this film?
That's a good question. Who would I recommend? Probably my sister, honestly. I feel like she would like it. I think she would be interested in the characters. And I feel like, watching this film, it kind of felt nostalgic to me, which I don't know if you got that, but maybe it was the score that gave it the nostalgic vibe and maybe the overall look and the fantastical elements of the mermaid. But I think she would be really into it, and she'd be into the characters and like all the girls and the drama that plays out and all the little things that make them tick. So, yeah, I would say my sister. Yeah.
Hey, sis, go watch Mermaid Down.
Yeah. Hey.
Awesome. Last but not least, and something I'm trying to bring back into, but you got the Mometu star here.
Hey.
Okay. 5 stars out of 5 stars. What would you give this film?
Okay. That's a good question. Out of 5 stars. It's so hard to do 5 stars because it's like, 10, it's like you can, I mean, I would say.
It's really just half stars. So it's like.
I know. Can I do like a 3.5?
Sure.
Does
That's
that
allowed.
work? Yeah. I feel like it was.
3.3 stars? No.
I would say it was really entertaining.
Yeah.
I definitely felt very entertained. But I also am very, I'm someone who really like can spot the low, like the elements of like that, what makes something low budget or like the logistical things. Yeah. And so I think maybe that element got me distracted, maybe a little too much, but I'm just a hyper perfectionist, but if someone wants to be entertained, then heck yeah, go watch this movie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably go like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. I watched it, and I would definitely recommend it to people.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it was just a time of day that I watched the film.
Yeah.
Because I watched it very late. And so I will say that this is a film, if I'm going to recommend it to someone, you need to make sure you put your phone down and pay attention to it.
100%.
Because there's a lot of little details. There's these moments that you need to be super aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
To make some of the things at the end of the film make sense.
Exactly.
I think there's some movies you can kind of get away with a little bit here and there where you're kind of like at home, you're watching a movie, you're streaming something, and you're like checking your phone or whatever. You kind of hear what's going on, you kind of see, but like this one is like very detail oriented in that sense where because it's the storyline is kind of mixing so many different genres, you have to really pay attention.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say recommended wise is like, don't watch this film unless you have the capability of focusing and not being distracted by anything else. Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Mometu Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Mometu app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.